Hi everybody, this is Pink Plum Bob here and welcome back to my channel. Today I am building a renovated lighthouse. Now I believed in my imagination that this lighthouse would have been an old Victorian style working lighthouse back in its day on the island of Windenburg, and it has since been renovated into a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom house. This is on a 40 by 30 lot on the Windenburg Island, and it costs around 123,000 simoleons. I had an old lady sim in mind for this house with a couple of her cats. I thought it was a perfect location, and the way that I designed the interior, I feel like it was definitely suitable for an older sim. And I normally don't build for older sims in mind, I always go for young adults. So I thought this would be a nice change, and I actually really like the way it turned out. I added 2 lot traits to this build, and the first one is the natural light trait, and the description for this is: the quality of light here makes painting and photography much easier to master, and the natural lot trait provides a 50% plus boost to handiness painting and photography. The second lot trait that I added to this is the sunny aspect trait, and the description for this is: the beautiful scenery really makes this place uplifting. When the sun goes down, Sims may get energized, happy or inspired, and this starts at 6 p.m. The buff for the Sims seems to last all night long, but it's randomly select. So the shape of this house is quite simple. I use an octagonal shape for the actual tower. Unfortunately, we cannot get perfectly round shapes in The Sims 4 at this time. And I don't know if that ever will be an option, to be honest, because I think it'd be quite hard to furnish in the long run. And this build is 4 stories high as well, and there is a balcony with a 360-degree view of the Windenburg Island, which is beautiful, and you'll see in some of the screenshots as well some of the boats in the distance in the ocean. On the back of the house there is 2 simple rectangle shapes, and I feel this is a classic lighthouse style. I haven't really seen any sorts of different lighthouses, to be honest with you, and I've got a lot of inspiration from Pinterest and Google Images, you know, places like that. And I haven't actually seen anybody do a lighthouse build as such. If anybody has seen a lighthouse build from other builders, please link them down below in the comments. I'd really like to check out their work and see if theirs is similar to mine or completely different, and I'd like to see how they furnished it as well. And also on the tower of the lighthouse, I did use a lot of round windows, as I imagine there'd be portholes. You know, I felt these would be like the original kind of windows that were used when it was back in working order. For the colour scheme of this build, I went for white and a light baby powder blue colour. I thought this was really nice, really fresh looking as well. I was thinking about using red, but I cut all of that editing. I edited all of that out when I was testing what colours I wanted to use, and then I ended up just going for the powder blue and white, with a lot of white accents around the build as well. And also you'll notice when I do the landscaping of the garden, it's quite unruly and it's quite untamed. I wanted it to kind of look overgrown, and not too overgrown to the extent where she doesn't really care about what her garden looks like, but she hasn't tended to it in a short while. But I like the way the garden turned out, and you'll see as well I'll put a lot of grass around the edges, and I tried to go for kind of like a blue and yellow and white colour scheme with the flowers, but I do go a bit mad with the grass on this build, which you'll see in a moment. And then I will put a foundation onto the bottom of the building as well, and add some cute little wooden white stairs. Now I did already do a voiceover for this build, but like an idiot that I am, and a bit dopey that I am, I deleted all of the audio files by mistake. I had a thing come up on my computer telling me that I ran out of memory, and I was like, oh no, alright, I'm going to delete all of my old voiceovers. Not realising, of course, that I had deleted the voiceovers that I'd done for this video. So this is actually my second voiceover for this, and I'm not going to make the same mistake twice. So that's why it's taken a little bit longer to get this one out this week. I mean, I've normally tried and aim for Wednesday, but unfortunately it just didn't happen because I deleted all of the videos. And plus the fact I don't like to record when people are in the house as well. I feel like I'm more confident when I do it when I've got a free house to myself and I can freely make voiceover mistakes without feeling like an idiot in front of anybody. So that's that. The general shape of the build is pretty much complete now. I just add a few touches around it with the flower boxes, and now I'm just doing the interior shape. Now the shape of this house is actually very simple. It's not an extravagantly complicated build. It's very simple. The rooms are very square, but I do really like the way the layout of this house came out, and I wanted her bedroom to be in the tower. So I put the bedroom on the second floor, and the room above that is like a kind of study area where she can work on skill building and stuff like that. She's got an easel in there and a desk and stuff. And also the top floor, I kind of made it into a junk room. And I felt like everybody has a bit of a junk room in their house where it's just all old boxes and stuff that they keep away seasonally, maybe like Christmas trees and stuff like that. I should have actually put a Christmas tree in the attic. I thought that would be quite a good idea. I should have done that, never mind. So yeah, and then I went for a very simple colour scheme inside. The matching the outside, of course, the whole of the colour scheme is white and blue. And I like the fact it's very matchy inside and outside. And I also like the fact I used these base game counters in this colour swatch. I don't think I've ever used them in this colour swatch before. And the whole theme of this interior is very rustic, very countryside. I wanted it to look kind of old-fashioned, but not like completely in the dark ages. So I used the old range, which I think is really nice with the wood logs underneath it in the white colour swatch. I really like the way the kitchen turns out actually, and then I do put a little laundry day rug right in front of the ranges. Directly opposite the kitchen is a small little dining area with a round table, and I really like this little dining area. There's a lot of clutter items in there, and I add a bookshelf and stuff like that, and generally I add a lot of clutter around this lot. I wanted it to look well lived in, like somebody had been living here for a long time. And later on I do put the cat's stuff downstairs right next to the bookshelf. You'll see me do that later on. Because like I said in my last video, I never know what sort of sim is going to live here until I just start building. I just get into that zone and think, right, this is how the build's evolving. I'm going to make this for an old person. And then I decide all of a sudden, oh, do you know what? I'm going to put a cat in. So that's about it in terms of the kitchen and the dining room. And in here you go, you can see me doing it now. And I do really like the living room, which is just over there on the right hand side, but you'll see me do that in a bit. Now I have got another build coming up and I have finished it and I absolutely love it, but one problem, my computer ran out of memory, so I didn't manage to record any of the footage of me actually building it, so I'm absolutely gutted. There is a little bit of interior furnishing which I will upload, and what I will do is I will do a tour of the house as well. And it is a church renovation, and it's my favourite renovation that I've done so far, and I absolutely love it, and I'm absolutely gutted that I'm not able to share the whole process, because I actually took a lot of time on the exterior of the house and a lot of time on the landscaping, but it just didn't do it, and I don't know why. It just, when it ran out of memory, it just didn't cut off and stop recording, but I lost the whole video. I lost like a lot of hours of work, and I was absolutely devastated because it was about 3 or 4 hours of work. And then I realised when I went back to look that, oh my god, it hasn't recorded a sausage. So now what I do is when I record, I do it in little 1 hour sections, and then I move everything to my hard drive so my computer can't get clogged up. But I will share it with you, and I will do a little tour through the house, and I will show you, you know, I'll explain all the details, this, that and the other. Right, so we're onto the living room now, and I love this living room, and I really like the settee I used as well. I'm pretty sure that is a cats and dogs sofa, and I've never used it. Like I said in my other videos, I'm trying to use items that I don't normally use. And trying to go for themes that I don't normally go for. I have a very meticulous theme that I stick to, and so it's fun. It's fun actually going for a theme and going for a personality that you don't normally do, that you're not used to. So it's nice to get out of your comfort zone a little bit and just go with it really. And I do really like this build. And also in other news coming to this channel as well, I have actually started to build on a 64 by 64 lot, and I aim to complete it and upload it and share the whole process. Now it's taken me a very, very long time because I'm not used to building on such humongous lot sizes, but with the progress I've made so far, I'm really pleased with how it's coming along and how it's turning out. And I am putting a lot of attention to detail in this as well. So I will, once I've completed it, I think I'm going to split it into 2 videos because it's taken such a long time. And I want to upload, you know, good quality stuff. I don't want to just do a botched job on it. So I feel like it'll be worth the wait once it's complete. And I will tell you a little like preview, I guess. It's going to be a, what would you call it now? It's not a manor house. It's got a courtyard in the middle of it. It's like an estate house. And I've done the front garden, and I am furnishing the second floor at the moment. And I haven't done the back garden as of yet, as I'm not sure what to put out back. But once it's all completed, I will upload it, and I'm very excited to share it with everybody. It's something I'm really proud of, as I've never built on a 64x64. Like, I've tried and tried, it's not happened. But this one I thought, do you know what, I had the inspiration, and I was thinking about it that night, and then I went to sleep, and then I woke up and I thought, I'm gonna have to build it. It's in my head, I need to build it. And I had a look at some inspiration on Pinterest as well. And I decided, you know what, I just went with it, and I built pretty much the whole of the outside of it within about an hour, which is quick for me because sometimes I can take a long time on the exterior of what shape I want. But I'm really pleased with the way it's come out, and I'm pleased with the roofing, because the roofing is always something I struggle with a little bit. I want to make it look as realistic as possible and not glitchy. But yeah, you'll see that in the near future. I'm not sure when I'll upload it, but I'll do it when it's complete, and then I'll do a voiceover to go with it as well. So now here we are onto her bedroom, and I love this bedroom. It's very mixed-mashed. It's got all sorts of bits and pieces in it. I just used a lot of like odds and ends really, and this is when I actually decide to add a cat into this household. So you'll see me in a moment. I will add a little cat tree and bits and pieces like that. But I like the bedroom. I think it's kind of cute. I like how the stairways go in the middle of the room as well. And off camera, it did take me a short while to work out the plan of how the stairs were going to go up the tower, because I wanted them directly above each other like that. But once I got to the 3rd floor, for some reason it wouldn't let me put the stairs directly above it, and I don't know why, because it did it there, and it's fine, but I don't know, it must be just some sort of glitch, or I'm building something wrong, I don't know. But yeah, this is the only bedroom in the house, and it's kind of cute. I like it. Oh, and here I am adding the cat's bits and pieces. So now we're moving on to the study room, and in this room there is a computer. It's like an old-fashioned one. I didn't feel like she'd have a modern one. You know, she'd need just the basic. Oh, excuse me. An ambulance has gone past or something. Anyway, so there's a computer in there. There is bookcases. There's an easel, and I did add a dartboard for a bit of fun. And there's also a chess table so she can build her logic skill. But I feel like the kind of sim that would live here is probably someone who's got a lot of skills already, and they don't really need anything, you know, they don't really need this stuff in their house, but it's just stuff they've collected over the years, and they've built it up, and they just want it in their house. And I did go with the same wallpaper as I have done in the bedroom, and as well as downstairs as well. And here I am just adding the little chess table, and I did want to put something under the stairs as well, so I just put a little chair. The one thing I don't like about the dartboard is that black line it leaves. I know it's kind of like, you know, how far away a sim should stand, but it just sticks out and it just looks odd. But I wanted the dartboard, so I just had to kind of leave it. Never mind. And then I do put an old-fashioned camera just kind of resting on top of that ottoman thing there, and I like that. I've never used that little camera before. I mean, I know it's an inanimate object, but it's kind of cute. So here we are now going upstairs into the attic, and this is where all the junk is, so it's great. Lots and lots of junk. I had the picnic baskets, old canvases, maybe they're ones she painted, boxes, cleaning products, just stuff like that, just to fill it out. And then on the top of the balcony as well, I do add a couple of a bench with some plant pots, and then I also add a chair as well on the other side. And it's really cute. I really like the little 360-degree view. I think it's lovely. I mean, it's somewhere I'd like to live. Right, now, this room was a pain in the bum. So I didn't know what to do with it, to be honest. Like, I put the sofa and that little side table in earlier, but you didn't see me do that. And I just didn't know what to do with it. I found it quite, like, tedious to fill it up. So all I did was I filled it with more junk. and it actually suited it really well, and it came out quite nicely in the end actually, with lots of bits and pieces in it, and I just basically filled it with anything that kind of matched the room. So yeah, that's about it for the front of the house, and then the furnishing is pretty much completed, and then in a moment we will be moving on outside, and that's when I start to make the garden kind of come to life, because this lot actually seemed to feel quite big, a lot bigger than what it actually was. I don't know if it's because I built like a relatively small house, but I felt the house was a decent size. Like, it wasn't too small, it wasn't too big. But I don't know, I thought, right, I'm going to have to fill the garden up a little bit. Right, so here we are doing more landscaping, and I was just having a little play of the terrain. And then I do add the same sort of flowers that I added around the back. Just so it's all very matchy-matchy. And once again, it's a little bit unruly, it's a little bit untamed. But it looks cute, and of course I add more grass all the way around the edges. Sorry, I can't talk. And so that's about it for the landscape, and that's the rest of the landscaping completed really. So as well, in this surrounding area, I do add kind of like 4 different points of interest around the garden, one in each corner. So I do start off by building like a little flower patch, which I kind of make up. Which I make on my own. Like, I don't add any planter boxes or anything. I kind of just use terrain paint just to build it. And then I decided then to build, I can't remember what came first. I did build a little washing line area as well, where they can hand wash their clothes with the little bucket and everything. And then I also add a little greenhouse as well, which is kind of attached to the vegetable patch. And I really like how that turned out actually. It's kind of cute. I've never made a little vegetable patch and then like a little, I don't know, it's nice, it's sectioned up the garden nicely. And then I also add a pond, and then I also add like a little campfire area as well, where she could have a nice evening, just sitting by the campfire, having a nice time, enjoying the view at night. And I do add a couple of outdoor lights as well, which I do off camera. But just to let you know, I do add some fairy lights by the camp area, as I thought it's kind of cute. That's what you'd want. But here I am. I'm making my own veggie patch, and I did have a little play around with the terrain paints as well. And I also add Patchy. I think his name's Patchy, the scarecrow. And I don't know what. I know he helps with your vegetables and your plants and stuff like that, but I've never actually put him in game and tested him out to see like how well he helps out. So I thought, why not? You know, she's an old lady. She needs a hand. She needs a hand with her garden and doing bits and pieces. So I thought I'll add Patchy in, just as a little, you know, trivial thing. But yeah, it's cute. I like it. I like this little area. It's really nice. Sorry guys, I've noticed I'm waffling a lot today. It's just kind of coming out like word diarrhea. I can't help it. It's just coming out and coming out. I'm just saying loads of random bits and pieces. And also I apologise in advance, even though you've heard a lot of noise from the background. It's my cats or the traffic. There's a lot going on outside, as I live on a main road, and I get a lot of traffic and emergency services near where I live, because there's a fire station just down the road from me, and I live in between 2 motorways as well, so there's a lot of traffic. But yeah, I've noticed listening back, there's a lot of outside noise and a lot of me waffling on a load of rubbish, but never mind, I'm just going to keep on waffling on. Hopefully you don't mind too much. So now here I am building the greenhouse, and I like this little greenhouse. I like the open windows. I've never used them. They're from Jungle Adventures, and it's cute. I like it. Happy days. Can't complain too much. I do put planter boxes on the inside, and I also do put a floristry table, which I extend. I'm pretty sure I did that in my last video, where I extended the table so it kind of looks, it didn't look like so small. It actually looked like a full-on floristry table, and I put loads of vases, so it looks like ones that she's made previously. And then just a bit more terrain paint. And something else I also add as well is a couple of beehives, which I just put to the right hand side of the greenhouse as well. And I add just lots of little bits and pieces, like details. So I add like the little gardening kit, and I add the gardening tools on the wall and a little hose pipe as well. So I did clutter it up nicely. I think it's, you know, realistic, and I just thought it was nice with the open windows. I thought, you know, you can get the air in and the sunshine, bits and pieces like that. Something else I'm really excited for is the new Sims expansion pack that's coming out next month. I'm absolutely buzzing. The Get Famous expansion pack. It's going to be so good. I did speculate whether it would be a university, because I've seen a lot of people requesting university, but I don't know, I wasn't a big fan of university personally, but it's probably because I'm not generally interested in the whole university lifestyle. But I'm really pleased with the expansion that's coming out, and I did think maybe a stuff pack would be next on the list, because obviously Seasons was our latest expansion and our latest piece of content. So it was nice to have another expansion pack. And it might be wishful thinking, but I'm hoping as well that maybe they'll release another stuff pack by the end of the year. I mean, I know they're releasing the Get Famous next month, so it only leaves December really. But it would be nice if they did add one more little piece of content, you know, just to kind of satisfy that craving, because I'm constantly craving new stuff. But I don't like to use custom content personally. I do have some custom content hair and some kind of like makeup bits, like I've got some fake lashes and stuff like that, and a bit of blusher. But personally, I don't like to use custom content in my builds. I mean, back in the day when I was playing The Sims 2, I was addicted to custom content. Everything was custom content. It was crazy. But it got to the point where literally my computer could not run The Sims 2. It was horrible. It takes like 40 minutes for it to load, and I'd sit there and wait patiently, even though I knew it was because of my like custom content addiction. And I had a mediocre computer at the time. It wasn't anything special. It was just your standard family PC, and I just clogged the whole thing up with custom content. And I had loads of stuff. I had like the clothes, I had the furniture, everything. But ever since The Sims 2, I always vowed to myself I'd never ever get custom content again or go as crazy. Like, I don't mind a bit of hair here and a bit of hair there and a bit of, you know, fake lashes and stuff like that. But custom content, I just stay away, because I know that I'll get addicted again and then I'll like mess my computer up. But I know there's some really clever artists out there, and they're really talented, and they're able to make all these different meshes and stuff like that. But these days I stay away, so I'm just very patient and I wait for the content to come out from EA. But I am also very excited about the terrain tools that are coming out soon. I don't know when they're coming out. I'll have to check maybe some of the forums, but if anyone can let me know when that's supposed to be coming out, because that's a big deal. That's like a huge deal. We've been waiting for this since like The Sims came out. Sims 4, sorry. I can't remember if we had it in Sims 3, to be honest with you, but I know Sims 2 we definitely had it, and I used to do some crazy stuff with the terrain. Like, I used to make it at the lowest point possible and just add in some stairs and just, I don't know what I was doing back in those days. I was just going a bit mad and just let my imagination run wild. But no, I'm very excited for the terrain. It's going to be a massive change and a great dynamic, and there's going to be some amazing builds from really talented artists, which I'm looking forward to seeing in the future. And then I'm going to have a little play as well, see what I can build. Really, I ought to think about my renovation series and add it in there somewhere when it comes out, but until that happens, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. So yeah, that's about it. And here I am just doing the pond, and once again I wanted the pond to look a little bit overgrown and unkept, so I just kind of went a bit mad on the old plant side of things. I don't know if I actually really like the pond that much. I know I put it in, but if you guys don't like it, you are more than welcome to get rid of it. And don't forget, you can get my builds on the hashtag emmapp, which is Emma Plum Bob for short. So that's where you can find my builds, and that's about it for this video, guys. So thanks for staying tuned if you've made it all the way here. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.